Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to week 3 of the Quiz Mercenary Quarantine Edition video pub quiz? Inside pub quiz? Speaking of inside, I am outside right now. Well, kind of, in the topside portion of the Quiz Mercenary bunker you can see behind me. This is our algae processing station and water treatment station. As well, just like a nice quiet little hangout. I come up here sometimes when the weather's nice. I get to stare at the blue sky I can no longer feel on my skin. I've got a good game for you this week, but first things first, let's get things introduced to the people who have never played this game before. If this is your first game, this is a version of a pub quiz to be played at home for your own enjoyment, or if you want to play against your friends, I'm sure you can do so on Zoom or Google Meet or whatever the new technology is. There's lots of options out there for you. I've got 4 rounds of trivia, each with their own individual rules for scoring and gameplay. You can play this entire game as one single unit against your friends or yourself, or you can break it up into each individual round, so you can have a little bit of quick trivia fix while you don't have time to do much else. As a matter of fact, here are those timestamps for the games. Bing! Right there. If you want to skip ahead to each one of those, feel free. If you are a returning player, you know about all the goodies on our website, including answer sheets and printable games. But if you're new here, head over to quizmercenary.weebly.com and take a look at the quarantine zone for all those extra goodies I just mentioned. You can print up answer sheets so you can play along with your friends at home. You can print up the questions and the answers separately if you want to challenge yourself. You can get links to all the other episodes and some other cool things there. So head on over, check that out. While you're there, why don't you sign up for the blog, because you'll get these episodes sent over to you whenever they get posted. Oh yeah, do me a favor, like this video and subscribe to my channel for more videos just like it, and share it around to your friends. I know there's lots of nerds out there who like this sort of thing, and they're always looking for the next trivia fix, so give them this. You never know, might like it. And the last thing I'm going to hit you with before we get into the game itself is I am not doing this for any sort of financial compensation, but I am trying to get the word out about my patron bars. These are the bars that I used to perform this game at live before the whole shutdown thing happened. They've all got links that are in the description of this video below. Take a look at those, and if you can, head over there, buy some gift cards, buy some takeout food, buy some takeout beer. Whatever you can do to help these people out in this time is more than appreciated. So do that if you can, and that's it for my intro. Let's get into this game. The first round of the game is the warm-up round. In this round, you're going to get 16 questions, all on the same topic, all at the same time. I'm going to put all of them on the screen at once. You're going to pause the screen and take as much time as you need to work on those answers. If you're going by bar trivia rules, 10 minutes is fine, but however much time you feel is necessary. You guys are at home, you're scoring this all on your own, so go nuts. So here we go. This category is called Trioage. In this one, I'm going to give you clues that describe different trios. Sets of 3. You guys are going to give me those sets of 3 for 4 points apiece. If you can only give me 2 of the 3 in that set, you can go ahead and award yourself 1 point each. Because much like a triage, if you save all of them, you get all the credit. If you save most of them, you only get a little bit of credit. So, here we go with the Trioage questions. There's all 16, and I'm reading them as well. So here we go. Question number 1 is volleyball's 3-touch hits. Number 2 is the branches of the U.S. government. Oh, that's an easy one. 3, items of a Catholic excommunication. Oh, that's deep cut right there. 4, shampooing my hair. How do I do this? That's number 4. Number 5 are the 3 capitals of South Africa. 6, the parts of a triathlon. I'm assuming there's 3 parts. 7, I've got the parts of the Freudian psyche. 8 are the 3 types of rock. 9, you got the races in the Triple Crown. 10 are the 3 methods of heat transfer. 11 are the 3 Baltic states. 12, I want the 3 original lifelines on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. 13, the 3 basic subatomic particles. And 14, the Bronte sisters. Why did I say it went 14 like it was finally? The Bronte sisters were 14. 15 is the ingredients in the mirepoix. And 16 is, oh no, how do Rough Riders roll? Those are your 16. Go ahead and pause if you already haven't done so, and take as much time as you need to work on the answers to those. Again, you got to name all 3 parts of each of one of those trios to get 4 points on those. If you can only name 2 of the 3, give yourself 1 point. 1 of the 3, go back to med school. That's it. See you in a moment for the answers. Bye-bye. And we're back. Warm-up round answers. So here we go. Number 1, the volleyball's 3 touch hits. Those are bump, set, and spike. Bump, set, and spike. Number 2, the 3 branches of the government. Obviously, executive, legislative, judicial. Hope you all got that one. 3, the items in a Catholic excommunication are bell, book, and candle. Bell, book, and candle. Look it up. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. 4, shampoo my hair. How do I do this? Should have been lather, rinse, repeat. Oh, that's how it goes. 5, 3 capitals of South Africa. That is, those are, Number 5, the 3 capitals of South Africa are Cape Town, Bloemfontein, and Pretoria. Don't ask me which one's which, because I never can keep it straight. 6, the triathlons, swim, bike, and run. 7, the id, the ego, and the superego are the 3 parts of Freud's psyche. Number 8, igneous, sedimentary, metamorphic are the 3 types of rock. 9, Kentucky Derby, Preakness Stakes, Belmont Stakes, those are the 3 races in the Triple Crown. 10, the 3 methods of heat transfer are conduction, convection, and radiation. 11, I got Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, those are your Baltic states. 12, the 3 original lifelines are 50-50, phone a friend, and ask the audience. Ask the audience. 13, proton, neutron, and electron, the 3 basic subatomic particles. 14, Emily, Anne, and Charlotte were the 3 Bronte sisters. 15, you got, in a mirepoix, that is celery, carrot, and onion, the 3 ingredients in that. And at number 16, how do Rough Riders roll? That is stop, drop, and then shut them down, open up shop. That's, unfortunately, how Rough Riders roll. So if you got any of those were 4 points apiece. If you got all 3 of them, you got only 2 of the 3. Give yourself 1 point apiece. And add up your scores. I'll meet you back here. I'll meet you back here for the wager round, which is next. Bye. Loving this sun. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to round number 2 in the game, the wager round. In this round, you're going to get 10 questions in 10 different categories. I'm going to ask all 10 of them in a row, then I'm going to put all 10 on screen for you at the same time. At that point, you're going to pause your screens and take as much time as you need to work on your answers. Again, if you're going by bar quiz rules, 10 minutes is what I would give you, but take as much time as you want. Your answers are what you're going to be working on during that time, as well as your wagers. You should be assigning a point value next to each one of your answers, 1 to 10 points, using each whole number value only once. If you get the question right, whatever points you wager on that will be added to your score. If you get it wrong, they will not be subtracted. You just leave them at 0 if you get them. Think of it like a measure of confidence. Put 10 on your most confident answer, all the way down to 1 on your least confident answer, and every number in between. All right, here we go. Question number 1 is in the category I mean, it's a good name, so... Anyway, here's the question. Founded in 1972, what NHL team is the only team to have changed cities without changing the name of the team itself? They moved to their current home city in 1980. It's in Canada. Number 2, category's initial name change. Here is the question. Carl Anderson Jr. got a change of name when he was 5 years old and his mother remarried. His new name, however, still had one of his old initials in it, although in a different place. And when he launched his women's clothing line in 1981 in New York City, he used his new initials as his logo. What is that man's name? Don't just write Carl Anderson Jr. That's not going to be the right answer. What is that fashion designer's name? Number 3, long runs is the category. This one is a little bit specific, so let me see if I can punch all these words exactly. There are 4 scripted live-action primetime broadcast TV shows that have been on the air for at least 15 seasons, or are in their 15th season, and are still currently producing new episodes. The longest running of those is Law & Order SVU. It's at number 21. It's in 21st season. In 3 guesses, I want you to name any of the other 3 TV series. If you give me any more than 1 in your 3 guesses, you get a bonus point each. But that's it. Name any of those other TV series besides SVU that have 15 or more seasons and are still making new episodes. Question number 4, effed up tongues. Nope. Question number 4, effed up songs of the category. In 2011, a catchy little pop tune topped the charts with an upbeat melody and a singable chorus. It was released as a free demo a year earlier, and its popularity got the trio of Mark Pontius, Mark Foster, and Cubby Fink their first hit song. The message of the song, however, was much less cheerful than the tone of the song, as it clearly describes a school shooting scenario taking place. I want you to name that song. Question will also give you a bonus point if you can name that band along with the song. Question number 5 in the category Latin lesson is this. What English word for monetary compensation comes from the Latin word for salt? This is most likely due to individual Roman soldiers receiving a weekly stipend of salt as part of their pay. Question number 6. That movie sounds awful is the category. In this one, I'm going to give you an accurate but misleading description of a movie's plot. You're going to tell me what movie it is you're talking about. I'm talking about. Not you, me. I'm describing this thing. So, here we go. This one comes from the year 2008. Here is my description. Exposure to a rare plant leaves a young explorer in a coma, and a sanitation worker abandons his job to save her. What movie from 2008 did I just describe? Number 7, Manitoulin in the middle is the category. The Canadian island of Manitoulin is the largest lake island in the world, and it sits on the Canadian half of which of the Great Lakes? Question number 8 is in the category Touring the Country. After washing down your lunch of ackee and saltfish with a refreshing Ting soda, take a ride down picturesque Dun Rivers Fall in Ocho Rios, or visit one of the country's 11 lighthouses before flying out of Ian Fleming Airport in Boscobel. What country are you in? For a bonus point on this one, tell me what flavor Ting soda is. Question number 9. In the category Name the Year plus or minus 1, I'm going to give you a bunch of events that all took place in the same year. You're going to tell me what year it is they took place. If you're off by 1, give yourself the points you wagered. If you're exact, though, like right on the year, give yourself a bonus point. So here we go. This was the year that the Lexus and Infiniti car brands both launched at the International Auto Show in Detroit. Also, this year was the last year 2 different Canadian teams faced off against each other in the Stanley Cup. This year, Pepsi also dropped Madonna as a sponsor in response to her racy Like a Prayer video. And Brie Larson, Daniel Radcliffe, and Dakota Johnson were all born this year. Emperor Hirohito of Japan, Betty Davis, and Samuel Beckett, the poet, not the Quantum Leap guy, all died. What year did all those things happen? Again, plus or minus 1. If you're off by 1, you still get your wager. Bonus point if you're exact. And question number 10, specifically non-specific, is the category. Here's the question. Penn and Cobb are the specific names for the females and males, respectively, of what type of birds? A group of these birds together is called a lamentation, and their young are typically referred to as cygnets. What kind of bird am I talking about there? Those are your 10 questions, folks. I'm going to put all 10 of them on screen like that, and actually like this. So go ahead and pause your screen. I'll be back in a few minutes with the answers. Get 1 to 10 points on each answer. Use each value 1 to 10 only once. Good luck. See you in a minute. Bye-bye. And we're back. Let's take a look at those answers, folks. Question number 1 in the category, it's a good name. That team was the Atlanta Flames, now known as the Calgary Flames. The only team in the NHL to move cities without changing their team's name. Number 2, initial name change. Carl Anderson Jr. is now known to you as Michael Kors. Michael Kors. Look at that K, just in a different place. So that's it. 3, the long-running TV shows were NCIS, Grey's Anatomy, and Supernatural. Supernatural, I know, is at 15. I think Grey's Anatomy is at 16. And NCIS has to be up close to 18 or 19 right now. It's getting close to 20 seasons. I don't know how Jethro keeps it going, but he does. Gotta love him. Number 4, that song is Foster the People's Pumped Up Kicks. Very disturbing song that I listened to very closely for the first time. I realized I hadn't before. Odd. 5, that Latin word is salary. 6, that film is basically a description of the movie WALL-E. WALL-E. Ava is the explorer that has an exposure to a rare plant, and WALL-E is that sanitation worker. Number 7, Manitoulin is in the middle of Lake Huron. Lake Huron, not the biggest lake, but damn if it isn't a fine lake. It's great, in fact. Number 8, touring the country. You are in Jamaica, and Ting Soda is a grapefruit flavored soda. It's a delicious soda. I don't know. Try it if you get a chance. If we ever get out of this place, right? Number 9, that stuff all happened in the year 1989. And number 10, the bird is a swan. So, those are your answers. Again, give yourself the points for whatever you're wagered on the right answers. The wrong answers are just 0. Don't take points away from yourself if you don't need to. And total your score up. I'll be back here for the last round of regular play, the connections round. See you shortly. Bye-bye. And your third round of play today is the connections round. Always a fun round. In this one, you're going to get 10 questions as well, in a little bit of a different arrangement. Questions 1 through 9 are worth 5 points apiece. Question number 10 is, what is the connection between their answers? The questions have nothing to do with each other, but the answers all share a connection, something that makes them all make sense together. Could be bodies of water, could be films by the same director, could be car model brand. I dig deep in there. Could be anything. And it doesn't always have to be the entire answer that serves as the connection. It could just be a portion of that answer. So flex those minds a little bit, and let's take a look at these questions. One more thing to add. If you can guess the connection a little bit early, by the time I'm asking question number 5, you deserve a little bit extra for that. Give yourself an extra 5 points because you're a very, very smart person. So anyway, here we go. Question number 1 in the connections round is this. The Sergeant Floyd Monument in Iowa was the first, and the most recent was Medgar Evers House in Mississippi. Something called an NHL. What does that NHL stand for? That's number 1. Number 2 is this. What now defunct car company is credited with introducing the world's first crossover sport utility vehicle? Although at that time, in 1979, neither of those terms had been really defined. It was called the Eagle, and it was a 4x4 cross between a station wagon and a larger SUV. Question number 3. What 64,000 person capacity multi-purpose stadium in San Antonio, Texas was the home of the San Antonio Spurs from 1993 to 2002, at which point they moved into their new home, the SBC Center, which is now known as the AT&T Center. What was the name of that old stadium of theirs? Question number 4. The KCAs are an annual award show that had its inaugural ceremony in April of 1988. Since then, Selena Gomez has won the most of this award, followed by Will Smith and then Adam Sandler. I want to know what company produces the KCAs. Who owns the KCAs? Question number 5. In March of 2020, what department store chain decided to close the last of its discount/overstock stores, which were ironically named Last Call? By the way, this is that lock-in point I told you about. If you know the connection now, give yourself an extra 5 points for it because you're smart. You won't know until we get to the answers. But just, keep that in the back of your brain. Number 6 is this. What brand of blended scotch comes from the Strathisla distillery, the oldest continuously operating distillery in the Scottish Highlands? Its most popular variety is that of the 12-year, and let me tell you, it is fit for a king. Number 7, what major retailer with 2,000 plus retail locations worldwide and a component of the S&P 100 still uses its founder's last name, but has since dropped the North Wilkesboro hardware that was part of the original store's name? Number 8, Jonathan Iver was the designer of what ready-to-use right out of the box consumer product that was released in 1998, first available in the G3 model. He was also responsible for its name, which was the beginning of a pattern of similar naming at that company. Number 9, I'm going to give you a location. You've got 34 degrees, 10 minutes north, 118 degrees, 34 minutes west, and you're looking down upon Sandra Bullock, Keanu Reeves, Forrest Whitaker, and Halle Berry. I want you to tell me what street you're on. That is that. Those are your 9 questions. They're worth 5 points apiece. Question number 10 is always the same. It is, what is the connection between each of the 9 answers? Good luck. You have, really as much time as you want to work on these answers. Hit pause on your screen while the questions pop up and hit unpause when you're ready to see those answers. Good luck. See you shortly. And we're back. Here we go, folks. Let's take a look at those answers and see what the connection is between them. So question number 1, that Sergeant Floyd Memorial and the Med Graffens House, both NHLs, that stands for National Historical Landmark. National Historical Landmark. Number 2, the Eagle, that original crossover sport utility vehicle, was a part of the AMC line of cars. Beautiful line of cars. I had a Gremlin myself. It was quite the piece of machinery. Number 3, the former home of the San Antonio Spurs was known as the Alamo Dome. The Alamo Dome. 4, the KCA's Kids' Choice Awards are owned by Nickelodeon. Juiced, owned by, same thing. 5, that department store that closed its last call overstock stores was Neiman Marcus. Neiman Marcus. Number 6, Chivas Regal is produced at the Strathisla distillery. Number 7, that chain is called Lowe's Hardware. You might have heard of it. Lowe's. Still around. 8, Jonathan Iver was the designer of the iMac, which is the first i-named property in the Apple line. And everything is I now. iPad, iPhone. And number 9, you're standing at Hollywood Boulevard in that the exact location. So what do we have here? We got Landmark, AMC, Alamo, Odeon, Marcus, Regal, Lowe's, IMAX, Hollywood Boulevard. All sound like Movie theater chains? Yes. Very nice. Movie theater chains. If you got that, give yourself 10 points. If you got that early, like around question number 5 or earlier, give yourself an extra 5 points because you're awesome. Total up your score and meet me back here for the final round. See ya. Alrighty, folks, I have about 10 minutes left on my time up here. So let's get into this final round. Here we go. In this round, you're going to get 2 questions. Count them, 2. In 2, you get different categories. And I'm going to give you first, and here's how it should go. Once I give you the categories, you should pause the screen and wager blindly on those categories. Up to 50 points total. Not 50 points on each question, 50 points between the 2 of them. Once you have your wagers locked in, unpause the screen and hear the questions, then pause it again and give yourself about 3-4 minutes, or really however long you feel, to work on the answers. Unpause the video and hear the answers. If you're right, add whatever points you wagered to your score. If you're wrong, you gotta subtract them. I mean, you're doing the scoring, so you do you. Number 1, I've got long-running film series. And number 2, I've got iconic NBA players. So go ahead and pause the screen right now and wager on those 2 categories and unpause it to hear the 2 questions once you've locked in your wagers. See you in a second. And here you are. So, here we go with the 2 questions, folks. I hope you got those wagers locked in already. If not, you can still pause. You're in control of that. Here we go. Number 1 in the category long-running film series is this, released August 1st, 1986 by Lucasfilm Inc. What movie was actually the very first Marvel Comics feature-length film adaptation? It starred Leah Thompson, Tim Robbins, and Jeffrey Jones before all that child porn stuff happened. And this character has actually made his appearance a couple times in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that started in 2008 and is still running now. Name that movie. For number 1, easy, but whatever. And number 2, slightly harder in iconic NBA players, is this. What former Lakers point guard, whose number 44 jersey was retired in 1983, was immortalized further in the form of the dribbling silhouette that has been the NBA's logo for quite some time? He plays an entire career with the Lakers and even spent 5 years as head coach. Name that player. Those are your 2 questions for the final round. Go ahead and pause right now. Give yourself a couple minutes to work on them, and then unpause to hear those answers. Don't forget to subtract your wagers if you got the question wrong, because that's how this round's working. Good luck, and see you shortly. And we're back. Here we go with the answers, folks. Final round. Question number 1, and that, of course, is Howard the Duck. Which is not just a dance sensation out of Cleveland. It was an actual movie. Fantastic job there if you got that one right. Number 2, that Lakers point guard, number 44, was none other than Mr. Jerry West. Jerry West. Fantastic player. Although I can admit that I have never actually once seen him. So, well, that's it, folks. Thanks so much for playing. I hope you enjoyed the game. This was the maximum score here. If you got close to that, you're pretty darn smart. And I'll be back next week with more games. Drop me a line here at any of these ways to drop me a line. And like this video, subscribe to the channel, share it around. You know the deal. Everybody needs to know stuff. And I hope you can be back next week for more questions. See you then. Bye-bye.